Hi, my name's Jeff Mercado. I am an English 1 teacher at Ardrey Kell High School. I am probably of the 220, 225 teachers at Ardrey Kell. I'm probably one of the 15 who were hired in 2006. Prior to that, those 13 or 14 years, I'm an English teacher because I can't do math. In reverse order, see if I can do this. I taught at Providence High School for a few years, J. Robinson for a few years. I started at CMS over 20 years ago working at South Charlotte. And prior to that, I started my first 2 years of my teaching career as a young 21-year-old graduate of Elon University. I didn't have any gray hair. And now, I'm not sure, I think age more than this job has given me gray hair. I love working at Ardrey Kell. This is to me, the best high school in North Carolina and has been since 2006. I'm sure it will continue. English 1, I think the best way in remote learning and also a virtual open house or virtual curriculum night is to really just take you through the average, I think, synchronous time, the first 40 minutes of class. So to do that, we'll go to Canvas. I am not a Canvas expert. Truth be told, I don't really like Canvas all that much, but I'm learning about Canvas. And so part of what I want to do is make Canvas easier for me and also really easy for my students. If you haven't seen the start of a synchronous lesson at Ardrey Kell during remote learning so far, they usually begin with a Zoom link. I ask students once they log in to meet me at the daily agenda and homework. The daily agenda and homework will split synchronous and asynchronous activities and assignments and objectives. The synchronous and asynchronous also come with links to attachments, links to other places in Canvas that need to be used that day. And to me, it needs to be a one-stop shop, this daily agenda and homework page. On the right side, additional documents and resources. And so on a typical day, if this is our assignment, is to work in groups to review an assessment from the week before, should take around 40 minutes after explaining it. Then the asynchronous time is to take a look at the theme and symbolism in Montreal 1962 and an attachment of that text that follows as well. The homework, all students can read this homework, not just from today, but in descending order, reverse chronology. So that we've got September 11th and the 10th and so on, all the way to August 17th, where I don't even believe I would refresh it after that first quarter is over. That's so that we can also tell where we're going still, but we have the complete documentation of where we've been. If I'm supposed to follow reading pace and can complete annotations for the following day, one of the things that I'd want to be able to do is determine what the reading pace is. And so you've got this reading pace calendar that tells you that on September the 15th, which is tomorrow, chapter 16 and To Kill a Mockingbird is due. And above that, you've got chapter 16 annotation recommendation. So as you read, you should be annotating in the textbook, not only the document in a PDF form, but also just the embedded version of that so that you don't actually have to download it. Let's say you're on the go, you're using your cell phone and not your home computer or your school issued Chromebook, and you don't have the memory to be able to download a PDF document, then what this does is just allows you to read it directly off of your screen. All right. The documents and resources also include lessons that are posted. Some of these lessons we've gone over in synchronous learning time. Some of them are complete self-paced asynchronous lessons so that we can maximize the use of the asynchronous portion of time. That really is what our class looks like on a daily basis. I think keeping track of progress and success over time has to do with PowerSchool. Canvas, certainly there are assignments and quizzes that we have either taken, will take, and continue to use Canvas as the one-stop shop for English 1. But I don't record grades in Canvas. So I keep track of, I grade assignments that are posted to Canvas, and the instructions are usually pretty clear about how to post the assignments in Canvas. Usually if there are technical difficulties, I ask students just to send me links or email attachments, and that's a workaround in case Canvas is having problems. I for one, have not had problems with Canvas, so I've been very fortunate so far. We can also have, there are probably two other things to talk about with reference to English 1. One of them is the syllabus. This syllabus page on Canvas will give you two pieces of information. One is just a Jeff Mercado English course. What does that look like as far as expectations, course informal and formal percentages, although that's consistent school-wide, what materials are necessary, and how best to contact me, or even arrange for a tutoring session, which can be in the morning or really any afternoon, so long as the afternoon is open. The course summary, I honestly don't even know what that is. I'm sure it's just it's just a list of the progress of assignments that accumulate. It is definitely not something that I would say that I use. Back to the home page, if I can move my big face out of the way. There we go. And we will wrap up English 1 with Jeff Mercado. There it is. The last one is just essentially how to contact me. And this is just teacher contact information for students. There are a couple things that I would do. One of them, this is my main, the main method of communication. I do have a Remind. There it is right there. I use Remind almost as a sort of a last resort. I like reminding students or contacting them, especially during COVID-19, of any updates that could be last second updates or significant pieces of information, but I don't use it as a back and forth. I just use email. And this Weebly is what I used to love. I still link it there just because it has an incredible amount of resources, 14 years worth of resources on that website. And then it gets, I think, communication expectations. That's the last one. Before I talk just perhaps a little bit about English 1 overall. The communication expectations for me, for students, is more of a professional engagement. We've gotten to the point now where students can often communicate with teachers very informally, even if we don't know each other. And so what I like to do is I've given an orientation on how to compose an email. That's how to compose an email to a professional or professional to professional. Or if you're sending an email to a complete stranger, but you want to just to add a level of professionalism or sophistication, I expect students to email me with that format. And typically with enough repetition, they begin to put it into their composition toolbox. English 1, fairly simple. It comes down to literacy and composition. And the literacy is broken into reading informational texts of different purposes, and the literature is broken into novel, short fiction, and poetry. Composition, we read so much and study so much in the way of analysis of other compositions that mimicking those professionals and the skills that they have acquired and use, we try to mimic. At the same time, there will be a grammar infusion, especially if we go back to in-class learning, but the grammar infusion is certainly learning the basics of grammar, but being able to make grammar work for you so that the composition goals are more easily attained. The composition goals are writing for clarity, writing for conciseness, writing for sophistication, and with that sophistication comes a personal style that should be adopted based on whatever purpose the student has for the composition. And I think that's English 1, that's it. I probably have recorded maybe 10 versions of this, and I think there's probably due cause to record another one of these, but I'm not going to. I can't see anyone right now, but I do appreciate your support and your listening into this. And please do send me an email if you ever have a question or concern, or you just like to say hello and introduce yourself. The standing rule is anybody that emails me should get a 24-hour response. Well, thank you again. I'm looking forward to what I think is an unusual year, but nonetheless, I am very optimistic. I'm always optimistic. I think that comes with part of either age or wisdom, or probably just age. Thanks for listening again, and I hope you enjoy your weekend.